to do, anytime you're going to thread a machine, look here, you see, did you see the disc move?
Yeah.
Okay, the tension is off. You always want this up when you thread, because if you have, when the discs are pressing, you try to thread the machine, it'll throw off the tension. Okay, so we're going to come up like that. Okay, so I'll just cut this, because you always want to take thread out the direction you put it in. So let's get this up here. Pull this out of our way. So our thread tails. Okay, so I'll just take the current thread, the upper thread, please. Where is it? Trying to figure out which was which. There we go. So there's the remainder of that. So I'm going to come over here's my first spot. Okay, then I'm going to come down. I'm going to make sure I'm between the discs. So if you can see there, I'm between the discs. And again, I've got my presser foot up. Now I'm going to come up, and you want to hold the spool with just a little bit of tension, right? Not a ton, but now what you're going to do is you're going to come here, and you're going to catch this spring. I don't know if you see that there, but see now, you see the check spring? See the thread is in there?
So you kind of put it in between like the space of the...
Yes, and that's the key. And let me do it again, because I know it's once you do it, it's like, oh, it's easy. But the first time, you're like, oh.
Yeah, it looks complicated.
Yeah, and so I'm going to go between this there, and what you want to do is come under to the right of the spring,
okay,
right? Because you got to get in it. It's kind of an odd little thing. Now I'm in there. See, I'm in the thread is in the middle of that little circle, and now I've got it here, and she's going to come up, and you want your take-up arm to be up when you do this, and the rest of it's going to be pretty obvious to you. Now, see there? Now, you know that you have it because when you're tugging, as the machine will do, that check spring is part of your tensioning. And now I'm going to come down, and I've got a little thread guide here that I want to catch. Come on. There you go. I did it through the front. Now you can't see it, it's very small, but notice if I hold the thread and I kind of pull it back, boom, now it's in the guide. Then you have, well, I guess I need to do my own lighting here. You got one more thread guide here, okay? Now, this machine, like most vintage singers, though not all, threads from left to right. Your new one probably does front to back, like most modern ones. Well, all your vintage ones typically are side threading. And now I have to see if I can thread a needle in the dark. So now I feel okay. I can drop this out of my way if I want to. I think this must be a size 16 or 18 needle because I just threaded it like that. And then, of course, I'll come up, put my thread tail, and just to check, we want to make sure we've got her. Let's try a different sample here. And that's a kind of a heavy canvas. Yeah. A lot of people do tote bags and stuff with these. I've had people do all kinds of stuff. Okay. And I always hold my thread tails just loosely until I get going. Right. And let me get my big feet on this thing. There she is. Now I know that it's like, oh, again, once you've done it, you will. And because the pictures in that PDF manual are not, you could probably even go online and find a vintage manual, or the best thing is on YouTube, people will actually, you'll see them, and a lot of these, this era, 15, they all thread the same way. I mean, they do. Singer was good about, they didn't change stuff for years, unlike some companies. So